In folklore, the image of the swamp is one of a black ooze, drooping leaves and thick fog. The air hangs heavy, and the most wretched of the world's beasts come crawling from its oily riverbanks. It is a place of death and of disease. I find this description rather enchanting. As someone who grew up among mires and peat, I would spend my early years exploring each corner of the biodiverse, colorful, and often hot swamps around my home. But that is what draws me to the fantasy iteration. Quite the opposite, they seem cold, gloomy, and drab, an aesthetic mirrored in antique artworks of prehistory, which featured dinosaurs sliding over boulders and around bubbling lakes. This imagery is powerful, reflective of the untamed hostility marshy terrain indeed does present. So I aim to combine the two and populate it with, what else? Dragons. So welcome back to the Dragonslayer Codex, where today I will lead you to a mire of mud and of fog. And a dragon as dreadful as its name suggests, the Gutbutcher. Many dragons in this setting are large and imposing, much as one expects a dragon to be. As powerful beasts, they can level walls and swallow prey whole, but the Gutbutcher turns that on its head. These are small beasts, about a meter or so in length. They do not crush homes, but instead slither within them. They cannot burn hundreds in a single breath, but indeed can focus all of their draconic ilk towards one single human. Just as a black widow can enter your house through a crack in the door, or a coral snake can slither up your plumbing, the Gutbutcher is dangerous in a way all its own. As mentioned, the dragon is small and very light. They are dark in coloration, possibly a result of staining caused by the filthy water, and have greenish spots on their wings. Gutbutchers actually possess 4 wings, much like the painted bloodletter, and the two are related under the clade Alacruidae. Interestingly, these dragons can twist their wings so tightly around their serpentine bodies that they come to resemble snakes themselves, and this efficient form allows them to reach the damp, dark places they love to inhabit. They live a measly 3 to 5 years, and are very common. Their faces are calloused and toothy, and from the front nearly resemble a skull. Binocular vision in the species is readily apparent by the front-facing eyes and equally vital to their lifestyle. I've said their name a few times by now, and I suppose it's a good moment to explain the why. Gutbutchers are voracious, cruel opportunists. They lay in their watery holes and wait for large animals or unlucky humans to saunter on by. Unfurling their wings and leaping into action, the creatures use their hooked, gnarled teeth to adhere to the skin, then spray a potent acid from their derived flame gullet. A combination of acid spraying and a crocodile-like death roll rips a large wound in the side of the body, and the dragon hurriedly shoves itself inside, greedily devouring their victim's organs before the others, yes, others, get there first. For when one dragon rips an entry, other Gutbutchers in the area, excited by the concept of a new meal, shove themselves into the victim in hopes of obtaining a scrap. When several individuals feed at once, the body jerks and flails about, as if it were a puppet. This phenomenon is called a dancing corpse, a grim sight often considered a worse fate than being burned alive. Those discovering the beast could think of no better description than one who butchers their guts, of course. After feeding, the little dragons will remain within the body for a while, resting. The fading warmth is what appeals to them, and other scavengers tend to veer away from corpses infested by these dragons. Once the body is cold, they slither out and into the nearest body of fresh water, held by the still, algae-choked waters of the swamp. As a semi-aquatic species, water is also important to their reproduction. Each winter, Thousands of these dragons congregate in deep lakes to breed in a fashion similar to what's seen in the spawning pools of some fish. The waters are filled with the churning of uncountable quantities of these creatures, and it is an excellent time to, if in an emergency, poison the water. Gutbutchers are quite resilient to many toxic substances, but a special mix of salts, coal, and sulfur can kill many in a spawning pool. Humans have seen occasional use out of this dragon, however. Their acid specializes in weakening flesh, and those who restrain and extract this substance can use it to coat their lances and make entry into dragon hide much easier for their bladed weapons. A notorious cult has centered itself around the concept of the swamp and keeps small cages filled with Gutbutchers who they use to execute their sacrifices. The human-like skull of the dragon is seen in various ritual places and pieces that they wear. Gutbutchers have been known to inhabit wells and slip into outpost or villages undetected. Often, a trader will return from their long absence to find the once active underground village cold and hollow, each corner writhing with the slithering of serpentine bodies. Once several of these dragons infect a settlement, their size and numbers make them near impossible to remove. How do you deal with such a dragon? Treated armor made smooth as possibly can be. Layered leather or metal works wonders, and anything without leverage for their drilling is ideal. Avoid walking in the swamps alone. As once one Gutbutcher adheres to you, well, you know how your story will end. And now, for another update. We are at 19,000 subscribers. Incredible, amazing. I'm like floored, thank you. At 20, if we reach it, I will discuss the book itself and how it will look. So stay tuned. The community Discord has been running a fun art challenge related to the project, and the chatter in there is as lively as I was hoping it would be, so thank you guys for being so involved. And speaking of thanks, heaps of them to my patrons, who keep this channel running. As university has picked up for me, their support is quite literally the pillar that keeps this alive, so immense thanks to them. Massive appreciation extends to my top patrons listed here. Link in the description if you're interested in joining the ranks. See you in the next video. Until next time.